Hello, hello, Facebook Live. It's good to be with you guys and the church. We're the Weatherfords, and welcome to Wednesday night with the Weatherfords. It's good to be back with you. We're in our backyard, another lovely evening. I think it might be actually calm enough to keep the candles lit the whole time this time, but they'll probably, I don't know, maybe we'll get lucky. Maybe they won't burn out, but we hope we're glad to see you guys joining us and tuning in. Please be sure to share this with your friends. Post this to your page. Share the video right now. Share it now, and let others know it's going on and that we're here. And yeah, that's all we got. Let's play some music. Yeah. Hey everybody, how y'all doing? That was All the Poor and Powerless by the former band known as All Sons and Daughters, or songwriters Leslie Jordan and David Leonard. Both have their own solo things going on now. Be sure and check them out. Wonderful duo, and they're producing lots of wonderful solo stuff now. Yeah,
definitely. So we are still in this book, Everything Happens for a Reason. I'm sure it's backwards to you, but here's the cover. It's by Kate Bowler. Everything Happens for a Reason and Other Lies I've Loved. That's a very important part of the title. It's by Kate Bowler, who is a historian, professor, theologian, and scholar of the prosperity gospel at Duke University and Duke Divinity School. It's a very personal and raw story of how she was diagnosed at age 35 with stage 4 cancer and had to kind of step back and look at everything she had believed about faith, about God, about life, and how she viewed the world. And it's been a really great read. Even though it's really personal, the truths in it are very universal. So this is from a chapter called Certainty. What is it? I guess it doesn't really matter. Chapter 7. And Kate is talking about how when she wrote an article for the New York Times, which I read a few weeks ago, an excerpt from, she kind of talked about how her diagnosis had hit her, and how her time studying the prosperity gospel, how that all intertwined together. So when she wrote this article a few years ago, she got lots of letters from well-meaning people about, and some of them were helpful, some of them were not helpful, like, eat more kale and then you won't have cancer. But some of them told really raw stories that connected with hers about how they had been through, these people had been through tragedy or lost someone to cancer, or just sharing, the heart of who they were through the loss that they had experienced. So one such letter was from a man who had experienced a really scary situation and had been faced with death. And he said even though this situation was horrible and he was scared for his life, his wife's life, his children's lives, he said he knows God was there indescribably because he felt peace, and it changed him forever. And he said, I have no idea how this works, but I wish this for you as you move forward. So Kate writes, his description matches something I read in the newspaper the other day that summarized the findings of the Near-Death Experience Research Foundation. And yes, there is such a thing. Who knew? Thousands of people were interviewed about their brushes with death in every kind of situation. Being in a car accident, giving birth, attempting suicide, and many described the same odd thing: love. I'm sure I would have ignored the article if it had not reminded me of something that happened to me, something that I felt uncomfortable telling anyone. It seemed too odd and too simplistic to say what I knew to be true, that when I was sure I was going to die, I didn't feel angry. I felt loved. In those first few days after my diagnosis, when I was in the hospital, I couldn't see my son. I couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't say for certain that I would survive the year. But I felt as though I'd uncovered something like a secret about faith. Even in lucid moments, I found my feelings so difficult to explain. I kept saying the same thing. I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back. At a time when I should have felt abandoned by God, I was not reduced to ashes. I felt like I was floating on the love and prayers of all those who hummed around me like worker bees, bringing notes and flowers and warm socks and quilts embroidered with words of encouragement. They came in like priests and mirrored back to me the face of Jesus. When they sat beside me, my hand in their hands, my own suffering began to feel like it had revealed to me the suffering of others, a world of those who, like me, are stumbling in the debris of dreams they thought they were entitled to, and plans they didn't realize they had made. That feeling stayed with me for months. In fact, I had grown so accustomed to that floating feeling that I started to panic at the prospect of losing it. So I began to ask friends, theologians, historians, pastors, and nuns, what am I going to do when it's gone? And they knew exactly what I meant because they had either felt it themselves or read about it in great works of Christian theology. St. Augustine called it the sweetness. Thomas Aquinas called it something mystical like the prophetic light. But it all said yes. All said yes, it will go. The feelings will go. The sense of God's presence will go. There will be no lasting proof that God exists. There will be no formula for how to get it back. But they offered me this small bit of certainty, and I clung to it. When the feelings recede like the tides, they said, they will leave an imprint. I would somehow be marked by the presence of an unbidden God. So we don't want to say much about this passage tonight. We want this to be about liturgy. And liturgy means the work of the people, and that's you. So we're going to sing a song. We want you to think about times in the past few months when you have felt that floating feeling, when you felt the presence of God, when you shouldn't have been, when you should have been feeling abandoned and in the dark, you felt loved. And we want you to share those. When you're weary and haunted, and your life is not what you wanted, when you're trying so hard to find it, when the lies speak the loudest, when your friends are starting to leave, when you're broken by people like me. I hurt too. I hurt too. When
been a long time since we played that one.
Yeah.
It's a song by used to be one of our favorite artists. We've not been on as big of a kick with her lately, but just still love her music. Katie Herzig. If you've ever heard of her, big fans of hers as well, and just a wonderful songwriter. Thank y'all for tuning in. We're grabbing our other phone here so we can see your comments and the things that you guys are sharing about. As Casey challenged you earlier, we want to know those stories of
what takes you to that place of floating on love. There are times, that you just feel lifted and loved and in the presence of love, whether that's through other people, most of the time it is for me, or when it's in solitude. So what are the times in the past few months that have really taken you to that place of presence, of love, of even hope? We would love to hear your stories. Donna Johnson, I feel God when I am with you, in person and virtually.
Oh, bless you, Donna.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
It was about. Thank you for the comments. So beautiful and peaceful. I think just getting to be back here.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you, I've never been more grateful for my home.
Mm-hmm.
It's often that people are the ones that I feel like we're talking about when love is the thing that carries us, that keeps us afloat, that keeps us moving forward. But I tell you, this house, our home, and the fact that it is filled with love, but have really been a thing to carry us these last 8, 9, 10 weeks, however long it's been. So,
my mom mentioned hurting together, and honestly, I think sometimes hurting together can feel good, even though it's in hurt. It can feel we're lifted by being linked together in a common struggle.
Mm-hmm. I liked how it was said. I can't remember where I read this, but I think it's very true. We are all in a common struggle. We're all going through kind of the same storm. We are in different boats, to be fair.
Yeah.
Sure. And so different boats feel the weight of that storm more than others, but we are going through the same storm right now, and that is quite a uniting and powerful thing. Mm-hmm. What are some other stories of love carrying you through? What are some things going on in your life? You can send prayer requests as well. Mm-hmm. That is normally what we do here, but we haven't had a ton of prayer requests, so we wanted to give some more things to flesh out this time together. So keep them coming. Diane Morrison offers forward, when my mother was dying of Alzheimer's, and we were in the darkest days before her release to the Lord, we felt Him despite our hurting. So many stories, I think, in ministry, but I'm sure similar for many of you, of being at one's bedside near death, to be with somebody in that time, and the presence of God can sometimes be just palpable in those moments. My own, I believe it was my grandfather. It was on my mother's side. My mom's dad, Dot Daddy, we called him, and he passed away years ago. I was much younger, young teen, I believe, tween, and if I'm not mistaken, it was a very interesting timing where it seemed as though Dot Daddy waited for so many to be gathered together. And when they began to pray, he said, he breathed his last breath. And so sometimes it is in those amazing moments as well that we see God carrying through.
Donna Johnson, please pray for me and my siblings as we are going through the process of helping our parents be safe.
Amen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We're
Many
with
prayers
you.
for you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I know it's hard.
Yeah.
I have felt, I like what she said about, in that chapter, let me see the exact words since I can.
You can.
If I can find it again. I felt like I was floating on the love and prayers of all those who hummed around me like worker bees, bringing notes and flowers and warm socks and quilts. They came in like priests and mirrored back to me the face of Jesus. And I love that feeling of the hum around you, even if it's not a physical hum. I have felt the presence of God in a hum of text messages from friends, and
which is a physical hum in your pocket.
It is yes, it is a physical hum. You're right. But group text threads where we can just laugh and be silly and send gifs back and forth and say, "Oh, what a day it's been! It's been horrible," and we're all there together. That has lifted me a lot to just to be able to connect with friends like that, even through text message. So.
I love the end of that because it referenced that she would be marked by a God who was not bidden. I liked the ending of that reading because, interestingly, we've had this phrase chiseled in this like brass block or something like that. I don't know. It's a plaque. It's got a lot of weight to it, but it says on it, "Bidden or not bidden, God is present." And it's apparently an old Celtic saying, but it didn't mean much to me for years. I think it was a gift from someone, wedding present, something along those lines, and it's just been there, and we kind of liked the saying, but it didn't sink in. And to now have it kind of come back, be connected to something like this. I've read it in a few other books as well recently, and that resonates so deeply that whether or not we're calling out to God is irrelevant. God is there. God is present. God is with us always. And there's nowhere we can go to escape God's presence. And God marks us with love.
I have a slight delay, so there might be some more comments. But
yeah.
I also liked what she said about that the feeling, we get that floating feeling for a minute, but it never stays.
Yeah.
That's kind of that little mountaintop high of happiness and love. But even when the feelings go away, God is with us. Yeah. And I think we can feel loved even when we're hurting. It doesn't have to be when we're feeling that little bit of happiness. I don't know. I liked that.
Yeah. We'll keep your prayer requests and stories and things coming through. We'll try to comment and bring those to light here in a little bit. But even if not, it's a joy to be able, for all of us, I think, to be able to see those and sharing those things together through Facebook and connect in that way. So if you're watching and you have the ability to comment, please do and share away. Yeah. We're going to offer forward this prayer / poem from the Reverend Steve Garnis Holmes and another song for you. So. You want me to read or you?
I
sorry.
take a breath before.
I'm sorry. I didn't know who was going. We were on a different page.
So organized. He comes to you, present with you now, in this very room as you read this, or as you hear this. In all your anxieties and hurts, he says, peace be with you. You are all right, safe and whole and beloved. Allow that deep peace to surround you, embrace you, protect you. He breathes His Spirit into you, His love, His healing will, His joy, His profound trust in God. You breathe it in. It fills you, every cell, every aspect of your mindfulness, with all your imperfections and weaknesses. You are a perfect vessel for His Spirit. Breathe deeply. You receive it. It becomes you. He sends you, just as He was sent, into this day, into your life, to bear that love into this world, with humble authority, with courage, with grace, with mysterious power, with joy and delight. Amen.
Ramblers in the wilderness, yeah, we can't find what we need. We get a little restless from the searching, get a little worn down in between. Like a bull chasing the matador, as a man left to his own schemes. Well, everybody needs someone beside them, shining like a lighthouse from the sea. So brother, let me be your shelter, never leave you all alone. I can be the one you call when you're low. Brother, let me be your fortress, the night words are climbing on. Be the one to light the way, bring you home. Face down in the desert, now there's a cape locked around my heart. I found a way to drop the keys where failures were. Now my hands can't reach that far. I ain't made for a rivalry, I can never take the world alone. I know that in my weakness I am strong, but it's your loving that brings me home. So brother, let me be your shelter, never leave me all alone. I can be the one you call when you're low. Brother, let me be your fortress when the night winds are driving on. Be the one to light the way, bring it home. Brother, let me be your shelter, never leave you all alone. I can be the one you call when you're low. Brother, let me be your fortress when the night winds are driving on. Be the one to light the way, bring you home. Brother, let me be your shelter, night leave you all alone. I can be the one you call when you're low. Brother, let me be your fortress, night winds are driving on. Be the one to light the way, bring you home. Well, we really appreciate you guys tuning in. So many folks tuning in with us tonight, and we really do appreciate you doing that. We're here each Wednesday night, and we'll be back next Wednesday. Friday night, you can tune in with Dr. Ray. Sunday morning, we'll be leading worship, 9:45. We hope you check it out then as well. That'll be myself, along with Matt and Eric and Sadie and Gloria on cello, and Casey's going to join us. We're so excited. We've got some family members coming to watch the kiddos that morning, and we're going to come, both of us, and get to sing and be a part of worship Sunday morning. So we're really looking forward to that. We hope you will tune in this Sunday. Let us know what's going on in your life. Let us know how we can help you. Send your prayer requests to us. Individually, you can contact your staff members, or feel free to submit your prayer request and the things going on our website as well. Everything's there on the front page, easy to find, and we hope to have you tune in. Another prayer request there for sure. Alex Martinez, prayers please for our family. Miles has been exposed to a child who was tested. Yes. For COVID today. Test results are still unknown. Alex, definitively you have our prayers for sure for Miles.
Praying for Miles.
Yeah. Please keep us posted. Please let us know how that's going and what the results are and all those things. So many prayers for you. For all those who are awaiting results, for all those who are recovering, for all of those who are sick. Overall, it seems as though numbers are in decline right now, but much of the science suggests we might be in for a long couple of years yet. And so many prayers for all those who are doing everything they can, day in and day out, to fight this and to find a cure or to find a treatment or something that can help us continue to move forward together. We love you. We miss you. We hope you'll tune in again with us this Sunday as well. And we close with this benediction each time. Deep peace of the running wave to you. Deep peace of the flowing air to you. Deep peace of the quiet earth to you. Deep peace of the shining stars to you. Deep peace of the gentle night to you. Moon and stars, pour their healing light upon you. Deep peace of Christ, the light of the world, to you. Deep peace of Christ, to you. Grace and peace.